I am widowed. I sold the house because it was too big for me to manage. I bought a smaller house close to my parents. My son works away a lot, and when he is on his off time, he stays with me and usually handles the jobs around the house that I couldn't do. I was out with my friend having a few drinks, and she suggested that I should get on some of the dating apps to meet people. She suggested a few, and I was surprised to learn that she was on them. As the evening wore on, I had joined 2 sites, and it wasn't long before the messages started coming through. Some were a joke. "What you wearing?" seemed to be the most common. I had been using these apps for a while and had not met anyone. That was mostly because I didn't like what I was seeing. Then, as I was searching, a profile caught my eye. His name was Michael Shaw. His picture was simple. A man in his late 40s with rugged good looks, standing in a field with a German shepherd by his side. His bio was what got me. Widowed animal lover, looking for someone who believes in second chances. I messaged him first. I never messaged anyone first, but something about him felt different. We started chatting, and it wasn't long before our conversations became the highlight of my day. He wasn't like the others. He asked about my life, my favorite books, and my dreams. He made me feel seen in a way I hadn't felt since my late husband, David. After weeks of chatting, we decided to meet in person. I was nervous, but the moment I saw him standing in the park with his dog, Casper, I felt a sense of calm. He smiled at me, and I smiled back. That first meeting turned into a second, then a third. Michael had a way of making the world feel smaller, simpler. He took me on picnics, showed me his photographs, and told me stories about his adventures as a wildlife photographer. For the first time in years, I felt alive. And then there were the nights. God, the nights. I hadn't let anyone touch me since my late husband David, but Michael. He was gentle, patient, and passionate all at once. Being with him was like remembering how to breathe after holding my breath for far too long. The night ended with a kiss, soft and lingering, as the waves crash in the background.
If you're having fun, please consider subscribing to my channel.
But love, if that's what it was, can be blinding. I didn't notice the small inconsistencies at first. The way he dodged questions about his past. The way he'd tense up when I mentioned David. Then one night, while Michael was in the bathroom, I found an old photograph tucked into his bag. It was of David. My David. He was standing next to Michael in what looked like a remote location, both of them younger, both of them smiling. My heart stopped. When Michael came back, I confronted him. "Why do you have a picture of my husband?" He froze, the color draining from his face. "Amelia, I can explain," he said. And then he told me the truth. Michael and David had worked together years ago, investigating an illegal smuggling ring. David's death hadn't been an accident. It was the result of that investigation. Michael had been forced to change his identity to protect himself, and he'd never planned to tell me. I felt like the ground had been ripped out from under me. The man I'd been falling for had known my husband, had kept secrets about his death, and had never told me. I didn't know whether to scream, cry, or run. I tried to end things. I told Michael I couldn't see him anymore, that it was too much, but he wouldn't give up. "Amelia, I never meant to hurt you," he said. "I fell for you because of who you are, not because of who you were married to." I wanted to believe him. God, I wanted to believe him. But every time I looked at him, I saw David's ghost standing between us, and then the danger came. One night, I woke to the sound of glass shattering. Intruders were in my home. Before I could react, Michael was there, pulling me to safety. The people he and David had been investigating all those years ago had found him and me. Together, we fought back. With Daniel's help, we gathered enough evidence to bring them down. But the ordeal left me shaken, and it forced me to confront the truth about my feelings for Michael. Michael wanted to stay. He wanted to build a life with me, to make up for the lies and the pain. But I couldn't do it. Not yet. I care about you, Michael, I told him. But I need time. Time to figure out who I am, to heal from everything that's happened. He nodded, his eyes filled with sadness. I'll wait for you, Amelia, he said, no matter how long it takes. And now, here I am, trying to make sense of it all. I don't know what the future holds, but for the first time in years, I feel like I have a future. Whether it's with Michael or not, only time will tell.
The story will continue in the next episode. Comment part 2 if you're eager to see what's next.